Hey everybody, Chris with Night of Living Card Games. Back again with a slightly different look for another game of Marvel Champions and another in my series of team-up card challenges. Today, I'm going with the one that got the most votes on the little poll I put up. I am doing Daughters of Thanos for Gamora and Nebula. So Daughter of Thanos is a one-cost event. It's a team-up, obviously. Gamora and Nebula, max 1 per deck. Standard team-up stuff so far. Hero action, draw 3 cards. Now, first and foremost, this is a little shade on the artwork. Poor Nebula has this whole inferiority complex thing and always jealous of her sister Gamora. The team-up card with Gamora and Nebula doesn't even include artwork of Nebula. It's Gamora and Thanos. So I don't know if they chose that art on purpose, but it's a little bit of a backhanded slap to Nebula there. But anyway, the nice thing about this card is Gamora and Nebula are Gamora and Nebula. Either in alter ego or hero form, it doesn't matter. They don't have alter ego or secret identities, Tony Stark and Iron Man or Steve Rogers and Captain America. They're just Gamora and Nebula. So as long as they're both out, when you're in hero mode, you can play this, spend 1 to get 3 cards. Seems pretty good. I'm going to put that in my deck and shuffle it up. And I decided instead of going with a random hero that I had to go thematic. If Gamora and Nebula are going to team up against somebody, they got to go against Thanos, right? So I am rocking Expert Thanos here. I'm not using Standard 2, and goodness knows not Expert 2. Just regular old Standard Thanos. Now, while I didn't randomize the villain, I did randomize the encounter sets. Typically, Thanos comes with 2 encounter sets. I think it's Black Order and Children of Thanos are the recommended ones. Going through that wheel of encounter sets, I got a little lucky and it pulled some easier encounter sets for me. So I have Bomb Scare and Guerrilla Tactics. So that is that. So I'm not going to spend a whole bunch of time going through the setup and what this all means. Just because this is probably going to be a long enough game anyway. Thanos, it can be a little bit of a slog to get through. So I'm just going to get my shuffle up the Infinity Stone deck and see what stone we start with. We're starting with the Reality Stone, so we're going to have to discard an ally, upgrade, or support. All right, so I'm going to draw up to starting hand size on both of them, and then away we go. And I guarantee you, while watching this, I am going to forget Gamora's hero responses for when she plays attack and thwart events probably a few times during this game, and I guarantee you at least once or twice in Nebula, I'm going to be halfway through a turn and go, oh yeah, that's right, I'm supposed to trigger her specials on the techniques at the start of the turn. There's a lot to keep track of, but... Alright, so Nebula, starting out, we got an Honorary Guardian, a command team, Genius, Wide Stance, Welcome Aboard, and a command team. I should probably mention Gamora is a leadership deck. Nebula is a leadership deck. Gamora is a justice deck. Nebula, the goal for the leadership deck with Nebula is to get out Yondu, who doesn't take consequential damage for attacking, and he's got range, so he doesn't even take retaliate, and then build him up with a sidearm, a plasma pistol, inspired, and then things like command team and get ready to just attack for 3 or 4, ready him, attack for 3 or 4, ready him, and just keep doing that over and over again. All right, so let's see here. I don't need 2 command teams. I'm not going to put out the Honorary Guardian right now. Let's see here. As much as I like, I'm going to pitch the command team. I got 3 of them in my deck, but I can always just try to cycle it. I'm going to hold out on Welcome Aboard just in case I draw one of my allies, try to get them out cheap. All right, so I'm drawing 3 more. I get a sidearm, I make the call, and a combat ready. Well, shoot. So I got a whole bunch of ally stuff, but no allies in my hand. All right, well, let's see how Gamora does. So her opening 6, we've got a Turn the Tide, Piercing Strike, Decisive Blow, Endurance, Groot, and Keen Instincts. All right, well, I'm keeping Keen Instincts, and I'm pitching the rest. I got a lot of attack stuff in there. I was tempted to keep Groot just because he's great for defense, but I've got a lot of attack, but I can't actually deal damage to Thanos at the moment, so I need some thwarting. So Clobber, Conditioning Room, Genius, Clear the Area, and Turn the Tide. All right. All right, well, let's start up. Nebula is first player. As leadership, I am rocking Maria Hill, and it's always good to have the Maria Hill player be first player just in case you draw it in your opening hand. So I am going to spend Make the Call, since it's not doing me any good right now, to get one of my techniques out, Wide Stance. And I'm going to trigger my response after I play my first technique in a turn in Alter Ego, draw 2 cards. I get another Welcome Aboard and Daughter of Thanos. Okay. I'm going to flip up to Hero Mode. Nothing else I can really do in Alter Ego. And I guess I'm going to spend one of these Welcome Aboards to play Daughter of Thanos. So let's see if I can get an ally out of here. Cutthroat Ambition, Inspired, and Lethal Intent. So no. More ally love, but no allies to do it with. Okay. Alright, so I guess I'm going to spend 1 to get a second technique out. Cutthroat Ambition. So I get Piercing and Overkill with my attacks. Wide Stance reduces the amount of damage I take from attacks by 1. Alright, so... Alright, so I've got an idea of what I'm going to do here, but I need to check. So I've got Lethal Intent here, which basically allows me to trigger the specials on my techniques without discarding them, and one of them is remove 3 threat from a scheme. And so if I can clear this out, the Sanctuary, then I can damage Thanos even through the tough status by spending physical resources. Nebula has 2 physicals, so I just want to take a look at Gamora real quick to figure out what I'm going to do with her turn, to see if I can spend any physicals. All right, well, I'm definitely keeping that. If I do that, these 2 cards are worthless, so these are going to spend for that. And then I can actually get 3 damage with Clobber out rather than just 2 with spending the 1 physical, so I'm not going to do any of that. All right, so I got my plan. So I'm going to play Lethal Intent, spending Genius to do it. So I'm spending 2 resources, so I get to activate 2 of my techniques, the only 2 I've got out. So Cutthroat Ambition, remove 3 threat from a scheme. So taking 2 off of that. And then Wide Stance, I get to look at the top 3 cards of the encounter deck, discard 1, and put the others back in any order. All right, so 1, 2, 3. All right, we've got a Coordinated Effort. We have the Mad Titan. And we've got a life-size decoy. So I have to discard 1. So these are basically just going to be the boosts for his attack. So this one is a 1 boost and then 1 boost icon, but it has a boost ability, and I place 1 threat on each scheme, and then in expert mode, place 1 additional threat on the main scheme. So if I keep this one, he'll be attacking for 3, 4, 5, and he gets 2 threat on the main. Mad Titan has no icons, but it has a boost ability. It says, if damage from this attack defeats an ally, put the top card of the Infinity Stone deck into play. That's fine. Don't mind that. And the life-size decoy is boost, no icons, but it has a boost ability to put this minion play engage with you. And when it's engaged with you, you can't thwart side schemes, which there's not a lot of side schemes, so that doesn't matter to me too much. So I'm going to discard Coordinated Effort, and I'm going to put Life-Size Decoy on the top, so it becomes Nebula's boost card, because she's not going to be doing a lot of thwarting, at least of side schemes. Gamora can take care of that. And then Gamora can take this one, since she's not going to have an ally out to soak any damage anyway. So there we have it. All right, so now Nebula is going to just thwart regularly for 2. And Sanctuary is defeated, and Sanctuary says, first of all, it's victory 1, so it's going to get removed after this. And then when defeated, each player may spend up to 3 physical resources from their hand, deal 2 damage to Thanos for each resource spent this way, and the damage ignores the tough status card. Right, Nebula is going to spend 2, so, oh, sorry. Thanos is supposed to start with 46. By the way, I'm doing this new look of trying to keep the hit points up on the screen rather than here, to try to make things a little cleaner and easier. So let me know what you think. If you like it, let me know. If you don't like it, if it's distracting, let me know. But trying something different. So that is 4 damage to Thanos. 1, 2, 3, 4. Down to 42. And that is all Nebula can do. All right, so Gamora, I'm going to use her alter ego ability. Look at the top card. If it's an attack or thwart event, I get to add it to my hand. It is not. And I just put it back at the top of my deck. All right, we are going to spend Turn the Tide to get a Keen Instincts down, a Clear the Area to get a Conditioning Room down. All right. I am going to take an attack or thwart event. I'm going to take Piercing Strike and add it to my hand, and then heal 1 damage from Gamora, but she doesn't have any damage. So we're going to pop ourselves up. All right. Unfortunately, I've already played cards this turn, so I don't get to enjoy Clobber's effects. So what I'm going to do is I am going to use Genius to pay for a Piercing Strike. So I get to deal 3 damage, but it's piercing, so... Oh, shoot. I almost forgot. So I forgot Thanos' helmet gets Retaliate 1, and to get rid of it, after you make a basic attack, spend a physical and a mental to discard that. I definitely want to do that. So I guess what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to attack, which just hits the tough off. And I take Retaliate 1, so that takes Gamora down to 9. And then I'm going to spend Overpay. I'm going to spend Genius and I guess now Piercing Strike to get rid of his helmet, because I do not want to deal with Retaliate all day long. The other damage that came from Sanctuary was not an attack, so it did not trigger the Retaliate. And I guess I'm going to hold on to Clobber in my hand. All right. Let's ready ourselves up. And I think Nebula's going to... I'm going to vainly hope that I'm going to find an ally here. So welcome aboard. Gamora, yeah, that's not going to do me any good. Wide stance. Get ready. Hey, Maria Hill. That's good. All right. Gamora is going to hold on to Clobber and then draw 4 more. Nebula, Cross Counter, Mockingbird, and Multitasking. All right, we can make some use out of this. All right, so villain phase. We get 2 on the main. Thanos comes to attack Nebula. We know that's a 0 boost card up there. So we are going to get 3/4 and attacking me. I am going to defend because I don't really want to take 4 right off the bat. Because the other thing is I'm going to have to discard an ally, upgrade, or support I have, so I'm going to have to discard... oh, that's piercing and overkill, not retaliate, sorry. I'm going to have to get rid of one of these, and I'll probably get rid of Wide Stance. No, actually, I'm going to get rid of that one. So anyway, so he's attacking for 3, 4, and hey, look, it's a life-size decoy. Put it in engage, and because we're in expert mode, he gets tough. So he's hitting for 4. I block 2. Nebula takes 2 damage. Down to 7. And now the Reality Stone goes off. Discard an upgrade or support I control. I'm going to discard Cutthroat Ambition. Oh, I take that back. Wide Stance reduced the amount of damage by 1, so I only took 1 damage. All right, then technically Life-Size Decoy attacks me, but it attacks for 0, so no harm there. All right, he comes to attack Gamora, and I'm going to take it. He's attacking for 3, 4, and star if it, so no, but if it defeated an ally, I would put the top card of the Infinity Stone in deck into play. I'm going to then use Keen Instinct to play cross counter. So when I take any amount of damage, prevent 3 of that damage. So he was attacking for 4, I prevent 3 of it, so I only take 1, so I'm down to 8. And then it says deal 1 damage to an enemy. I'm going to deal that to Thanos, taking him down to 41, and remove 1 threat from a scheme. This is also a attack and a thwart event, so I get to trigger both the finesse and precision response to deal a damage, because it was a thwart event, and then remove a threat because it was an attack event. All right, and now we get encounter cards. All right, so Nebula first, we get caught off guard. Discard an upgrade or support you control. All right, well, there goes that one. Shadow of the Past. Really? All right, well, we're playing a little multiverse shenanigans into play because Nebula comes into play and Nebula's out. So we're going to go Avengers Endgame, and this is an older Nebula that was part of Thanos, that was still working for Thanos, as opposed to new friendly Nebula who hates him or is actively fighting against him. All right, so shuffle the other 3 in there, and then I also have Sibling Rivalry. It is a 4-threat side scheme, and only Gamora can remove threat from it, and then at the start of the villain phase, deal 1 face-down encounter card to Gamora. So I definitely want to try to get rid of that as soon as possible. All right, and Gamora comes in 5 hit points, but retaliate 2. So that is going to be a bit of a pain. All right, well, first player moves over to Gamora. Nebula is going to call for an action, though. So we are going to play Welcome Aboard, because it is a hero action. Oh no, that doesn't do me any good right now. I thought I got to play the ally, not reduce. It just has an ongoing effect to reduce the next ally by 2, kind of like Captain America's alter ego ability. So that doesn't do me a lot of good. Oops, I forgot to put the threat on Sibling Rivalry. All right. I don't think I'm going to be able to get rid of that this turn. Yeah, the most I can do is 4 with it. Or, oh no, yeah, 4. So I'll be able to do it. Sure. I'm just trying to see if I can, what else I want to do here. All right, is Nebula going to be able to do anything to help with Nebula? No. All right, so here's what we're going to do. Yeah, actually, there's really... All right, so we're going to spend 2 to play Clobber. So deal 3 damage to an enemy. I'm going to choose Thanos, not Nebula, because I don't want to take 2 retaliate. So down to 37. And then it was the first card I played this round, so I get to return it to my hand, and then I'm going to use it to pay for multitasking. Does to remove 2 threat. I didn't use a mental, so I couldn't take it from another, but there isn't anyway. And then I'm going to use Gamora to remove 2 threat to get rid of sibling rivalry. And then I think Gamora is going to flip down. I'm not going to look at the top card of my deck, and I'm not going to trigger Conditioning Room because it doesn't make any sense to do that right now. All right, Nebula's turn. We are going to use Welcome Aboard to pay for Maria Hill. So everybody draws a card. Gamora gets Acrobatic Move. And Nebula got White Tiger. All right. Actually, Maria Hill really doesn't have a purpose at the moment. So we're going to spend 3 to get White Tiger out. So White Tiger comes in and says, after you play her from your hand, draw X cards where X is equal to the villain's phase number, stage number. So he's a 2, so you get to draw 2, an endurance, and to get ready. I'm going to use Get Ready to play Endurance on Nebula to give myself 3 more hit points. And then White Tiger is going to attack Thanos for 2. Oh, I did forget to put out an Infinity Stone after he dealt with Gamora. Forgot about that. So that is going to be the Power Stone. So it's going to stun whoever does it. All right. And Maria Hill's going to just chill out, wait for there to be some threat to take care of. All right. That is everything. So let's flip all our tokens over. Gamora is going to hold on to Acrobatic Move. Draw 5 more. Clear the area. Strength. Rocket Raccoon. Clobber. And the last one is an Energy. Okay. Nebula is drawing 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we get a Laser Blaster, Lethal Intent, Nebula's Ship, Cutthroat Ambition, and another Laser Blaster. Where is Yondu when I need him? All right, enemy phase. We're getting 2 on the main. Thanos goes to scheme against Gamora, so he is scheming for 2, 3, 4. Taking it up to 6. And then Nebula schemes for 1, taking us up to 7. And then, before Nebula schemes, technically, Power Stone goes off and Gamora is stunned. Right, now he comes to attack Nebula. White Tiger jumps in the way, so he's attacking for 3, 4, 5, 6. White Tiger does not make it. And since there's no Power Stone or Infinity Stone in play, we flip the top card over. Next one is the Soul Stone, so it's heal 3 damage and get a face down boost. And now we each get an encounter card. Gamora gets Inferiority Complex, so it is Nebula's obligation. I can't do the second bullet point even if I wanted to. I guess I could, but then it just surges. So I don't want that. So I'm going to flip over Alter Ego and exhaust myself to remove it from the game. Nebula gets Bomb Scare. So comes in with 4 threat and an acceleration icon. All right, and now first player moves over to Nebula. Fortunately, I do have technique in my hand, so I'm going to spend one of the laser blasters that I can't do anything with to play Cutthroat Ambition. So that's going to give me piercing and overkill. And then I get to draw 2 cards, which is a Weapons Master and a Weapons Master. Alrighty. I am going to spend Laser Blaster and a Weapons Master to get out my ship. So this is my my resource generator. So just exhaust it to generate a wild. All right, I'm going to flip back up to hero form. And I'm going to use Nebula's ship to play Lethal Intent. So I get to choose a special. I've only got one out. The special is Thwart, remove 3 threat from a scheme. Because a life-size decoy, I can't thwart side schemes, so I can't remove it from here. So I'm just removing it off the main. Maria Hill, on the other hand, is under no obligation to pay attention to that life-size decoy. So she takes 2 off of that. And that is Nebula's turn. So moving on to Gamora, we are going to use her ability to look at the top card of her deck. It is not an attack or thwart, so it stays there. I will exhaust Conditioning Room to get the bottommost. I think I might have screwed that up on the first turn. I don't know if I did the bottommost. Attack or thwart event, and that's Turn the Tide. Return it to my hand. All right. I'm going to flip up. I'm going to exhaust myself to clear stunned. I am going to use Keen Instincts to pay for Clear the Area to remove 2 threat from Bomb Scare. Getting rid of it. And it was the last threat from a scheme, so I get to draw a card, which is Sense of Justice. And then I am going to play Turn the Tide. Oh, that was a thwart event, so I get to do a damage. And I am going to put that on Nebula. And it's not an attack, so I don't have to deal with the overkill. And then I am going to do Turn the Tide. And it's, hero response after you remove the last threat from a scheme. Deal 3 damage to an enemy. As much as I would like to do it, it is an attack, so I'm going to do it to Thanos instead. 1, 2, 3, taking him down to 32. And that was an attack event, so I get to remove a threat from a scheme. There. All right. I am now going to spend energy and clobber to get Rocket Raccoon out. Oh, let me move this up so it's not looking like an ally. So Rocket Raccoon is going to come in, 3 hit points, attack of 1. But when you attack a minion, he gets +3 for that attack and gains overkill. So he'll be attacking the Nebula minion for 4. And she has 4 left, so that takes her out. Because she died, retaliates do not trigger. No overkill damage there, though. Right. I am then going to spend 2, I guess, to get my Sense of Justice out. Get those resource engines going. And then lastly, I'm going to play Acrobatic Move, Hero Action, 0 cost event, attack event, deal 2 damage to an enemy. Thanos is down to 30. I already did my little trick to pull off a thwart or a threat from another thing, so can't take any more. All right, that is it for me. Let's ready everybody up. We'll keep Weapons Master, draw 4 more, Sidearm, Evasive Maneuvering, Energy, and Drax. Right, Gamora's gonna get 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we get a Clear the Area, Ironheart, Piercing Strike, Forward Momentum, and a Quake. All right, Villain Phase. We get 2 on the main to go up to 5. Thanos is going to attack Nebula. Yeah, we'll have Maria Hill jump in the way of this thing. So he's attacking for 3, 4, 5. Maria Hill does not make it. And now the Soul Stone goes off, so it says heal 3 damage from the villain and give it a face-down boost card. So that... Thanos goes up 3, 1, 2, 3, back to 33. Thanos is going to be coming in for 4 plus 2 boost cards, so sorry, Rocket, you're going to just have to go away now. All right, so 3, 4, 5, 6, and in expert mode, this card gets plus 2 boost icons, so 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So thank you very much, Rocket. You performed wonderfully. You took out Nebula, and then you immediately got knocked out. I appreciate that. And then everybody gets an encounter. Oh, yeah, the life-size decoy attacked for 1. All right, gang up. All right, well, the villain and all the minions, so life-size decoyed as well, comes to attack. Oh, I forgot to put a stone out. It's going to be a time stone, so I'm going to add threat to things. I had 11 hit points. He's hitting for 4. I'm just going to take it. 3, 4, 5, 6. So that takes me down to 5. And now the time stone goes off, so it is discard the top 4 cards and place 1 threat on the main scheme for each different type of card. So we got an event, an ally, and an upgrade. Oh, and there goes Yondu. Thank you, Time Stone. All right, so 3 threat going on the main, taking it up to 8. All right, and now Gamora gets Master of the Time Stone attached to Thanos. He gets +1/+1, and Forced Interrupt when he activates. Put the top card of the Infinity Stone deck into play. So, all right, first player moves over to Gamora. All right, so he's going to be attacking for a bunch here, so I definitely want to get an ally out if I can. All right, so I've got Quake and Ironheart. I'm just trying to figure out which one is going to be the best one for me to bring out. Yeah, I don't think the 1 card is going to make much difference, so I'm going to spend Clear the Area and Piercing Strike to get out a Quake. Actually, I'll hold on to Clear the Area. Yeah, actually, I'm going to do that differently. So I'm going to spend Piercing Strike and Quake to get Ironheart out, who will draw me a card, because that actually may make a difference. It's Clobber. All right. No, it's really not going to. So I can... Sure, I'm going to remove 3 threat from a scheme anyway, so it really doesn't matter then. So I guess Keen Instinct's going to pay for Clear the Area to remove 2 threat, taking that down to 6. And then Sense of Justice and Clobber is going to... You know what? And Forward Momentum is going to pay for Clobber. Deal 3 damage to an enemy. It is not the first card I played this turn, so... 1, 2, 3, taking him back down to 30. Gamora will... Oh, and that was an attack event. Oh, I played a thwart event. I played Clear the Area, so that deals 1 damage, which goes on Thanos. And then I just played an attack event. That takes 1 threat there. Ironheart is going to attack for 1. And then... So Gamora is going to attack. At 33, Clobber took him down to 30. So I don't think I applied the damage. So hopefully I'm not cheating. Okay. That's it. That's it for me. All right, so Nebula. Now I do have to trigger her Cutthroat Ambition. So the special is remove 3 threat from a scheme. So that takes this down to 2. All right, so we are going to spend Nebula's ship and an energy to get a Drax out. I'm just debating on, oh, I know what I can do. So, since Nebula's sitting at 5, I'm just going to flip down. And then I'm going to exhaust to recover to go up 3. 1, 2, 3, getting me back up to 8. I am going to spend Evasive Maneuvering to get Weapons Master out, and that's a technique and Alter Ego, so I get to draw 2 cards. Major Victory and Strength. I'm going to spend Major Victory to get a sidearm on Drax. So that gives Drax a +1 attack and ranged. So Drax cannot attack minions, so he is going to attack Thanos for 4. Taking Thanos down to 22. And I'm going to hold on to Strength, and that is my turn. So let's ready everybody up. All right, so first we've got Gamora drawing 5, Daughter of Thanos, Keen Instincts, Piercing Strike, Acrobatic Move, and Gamora's Sword. All right, Nebula, maybe decking out here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep. So we're keeping Strength. And we're also getting a Make the Call. Unyielding Persistence Technique, Lethal Intent, and a Get Ready. Ooh, that'll be nice for Drax. All right, I still have 1 more to draw, but I deck out. So get an encounter card. Do some quick shuffling here. And draw 1 more. Honorary Guardian. All right, that is it for the hero turn. So we're getting 2 on the main. Thanos comes to attack Gamora. Ironheart's going to defend. Force Interrupt comes into play, so we reveal the top card of the Infinity Stone deck, which is the Space Stone, which is going to be go get a minion. All right, so he's attacking for 3, 4, 5, and a star. Discard the top card of the Infinity Stone deck and apply its boost icons for this activation as if it were a boost card. All right, so that is the Mind Stone, which is 2. So we discard that. Now, here's an interesting timing question. So the Infinity Stone deck has run out, and it says Force Response. After the Infinity Stone deck runs out, give Thanos a face-down boost card. We're still in this activation, so I'm not sure if that face-down boost card hits in this one or the next activation. I think I'm gonna, because I think it'll be worse for me if it's in the next activation, because that'll apply to a thwart. So we're gonna say that it doesn't. I don't know if that's right or not. So I didn't get any overkill, so that was a ton of damage. Ironheart just gets flattened. And then Master of the Stones goes away. Now, Space Stone triggers, which is discard cards from the top of the encounter deck until a minion is discarded. And then put it into play. So, okay, Hydra Bomber it is. Has a win revealed ability, not a put into play ability. or when engaged ability, so it doesn't trigger. But he does come and attack for 1, and Gamora's just going to take it to go down to 7. All right, so he is coming to scheme against Nebula for 2, 3, and 2 boost cards. So we get 2, 3, 4, 5, and star, and it would be if it was a damage and it killed a minion. So 5. Okay, so that was that. Now we get encounter cards. Oh yeah, and life-size decoy schemes for 0. All right, Gamora first. We get false alarm. Ooh, confused. Not ideal. For the thwarter. Okay, now Gamora gets side scheme. Each enemy gains a hazard icon. And that has 4 threat on it. Definitely don't want that sticking around until next turn. Deviate Syndrome, Insight 1, so that takes the Infinity Stones up to 10 out of 24. And then when revealed, give Thanos a tough status card. All right. All right, so first player passes over to Nebula. All right, we are going to spend Honorary Guardian to get out a Unyielding Persistence technique. So I get +1 thwart, +1 attack, and I gain Stalwart. Shame I'm not the one that's confused. And then that was the first technique, so I get to draw 2 cards, Combat Ready, and Maria Hill. Okay, so let us spend a strength to get a Maria Hill out. So everybody gets to draw a card. Nebula draws a Genius. Gamora draws a Thwart event, a 0-cost Thwart event. That'll be nice to get rid of Confused. All right, we are... Let's see here. All right, we are going to flip over into hero mode. Okay, just debating on how I want to do this. So I've got a lethal intent, so I can trigger these things, but he's got a tough card, so I got to get that out first because I don't have piercing at the moment, and nobody does. No, that's just ranged. All right. So Gamora is going to attack for 2 to get rid of the tough. We are now going to spend Make the Call and Combat Ready for lethal intent. So I get to trigger 2 technique specials. So Unyielding Persistence is giving Nebula a tough status card. That seems good. And then deal 4 damage to an enemy. That is Thanos. 1, 2, 3, 4. Taking him down to 18. Right. I don't know why I have 2 readies on Drax. Drax is going to attack for 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Taking down 14. And then I'm going to spend Get Ready to ready Drax. And then deal another 4. Taking Thanos down to 10. Maria Hill is going to thwart 2 off of this side scheme because we really need to get rid of that. Taking that down to 2. And then that is about all I can do this turn. All right, so Gamora's turn. All right, let us set the pace. It's a thwart event, so 0-cost thwart event, so that gets rid of Confused. Let's do Acrobatic Move. Deal 2 damage to an enemy. That's the Hydra Bomber. And because that's an attack event, I get to I get to remove one threat. Let's take it off the main. All right. Well, unfortunately, as much as I would love to get my sword out, I'm not going to be able to. So I'm going to spend one to play Daughter of Thanos to draw 3 cards. I get a set the pace, multitasking, and a decisive blow. All right, we are going to then use a decisive blow, or set the pace to remove 1 threat from a scheme. That is a thwart event, which triggers my ability, so I ping a damage onto Thanos. Okay, I am going to use Piercing Strike to get my second Keen Instinct out. So I've got 2 of them I get to use. I'm going to use Sense of Justice to generate a mental resource to do multitasking. So I get to remove 2 threat from 1. And because it was a mental, I get to do 2 threat from another, taking that down to 6. And then we're going to use both Keen Instincts to play Decisive Blow. So deal 4 damage to an enemy, or 7 if you played a thwart event this turn, which I did. So down to 2. And let's just go for it. Gamora's going to hit for 2. Taking Thanos stage 2 down to 0. All right, so let's bring in Thanos stage 3. So Thanos stage 3 is 2 scheme, 4 attack now. And when with Stalwart and Toughness, and then when revealed, go find his armor and reveal it. And same force response. And he's going to come in with 56 hit points. So bear with me where I hit my up arrow 56 times here. Need to find a way to make it easier to just set that to something. Oh, dun, 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 dun. Almost there. 6. All right. And he comes in with Stalwart still and Toughness. And I have to go find his armor. Check in the discard pile. Basically, it says reduce, when he would take damage, reduce the amount of damage by 1. Not just from an attack, any damage. So Gamora's ping damage won't do anything. And then it's after a hero makes a basic attack, spend a energy and a physical to discard it. All right. So, trying to think here. He's going to be scheming. You know what? I'm going to flip Gamora down. Let's see. What is the bottom? I'm not going to do it right now, but what is the bottommost attack or thwart event? It is an attack event. All right, because I'm going to be decking out this turn over here. So, on Gamora's side. So, okay. So, that is going to be it. So, let's ready everything up and let's see what happens this turn. All right, I'm going to keep Genius in hand and draw 4 more on Nebula's side. So a Major Victory, Lethal Intent, Cutthroat Ambition, and another Lethal Intent. Oops. You stay there, Maria. Gamora's getting 6. Turn the Tide, Cross Counter, Forward Momentum, Wiccan, decks out. So we get an encounter card. And we get 2 more. Oh man, Nebula got all mental resources in her hand, so I can't even trigger. Or get rid of Thanos' armor. Okay. 2 more. Clear the area. And Quake. So I think that's something Gamora is going to have to look at doing. But first, we got to get through this turn. All right, that is it for the hero phase. Enemy phase, this goes up 2, so we are at 8. Thanos is coming to attack Nebula. I'm just going to take it because I've got a tough. So he's attacking for 4, 5, 6. Just hits my tough. And I do have Retaliate 1, so that pings off his tough. There's no Infinity Stone out there, so we put one out. Oh, it's going to be the Mind Stone, so we're going to be confused. All right, and so he's scheming now for 2, 3, just 3. Oh, it's not too bad. So 11, and then the Mind Stone goes off, so Gamora is confused. And now we get encounter cards, 1 for Nebula and 2 for Gamora. Nebula gets Waylay, stun and confuse Gamora. If Gamora is already stunned or confused, this card gains Surge. Well, darn it. So now she is stunned and confused, but because she was confused before, this surges into Unfulfilled Destiny. Give it to Gamora. Okay, either have to discard 2 events from my hand, which I've got to clear the area and a forward momentum. Cross counter's not doing me any good. You know what? I'm going to just get rid of 2 events from my hand because I don't want to exhaust, so I can at least get rid of one of those statuses. So I'm going to get rid of cross counter and turn the tide because that's not going to, neither one of those are going to do me much of anything this turn. Do I want to? No, I'm going to keep cross counter, and I am going to get rid of forward momentum. I'm not going to be doing a lot of thwarting this turn. All right, Gamora gets Avatar of Death. When revealed alter ego, Thanos schemes. All right, so 4, 5, just 5. So we are at 16 out of 24 all of a sudden. And we get an Infinity Stone, which is going to be heal Thanos and give him a boost card. And the other is a life-size decoy. So right now, neither of us, neither Gamora nor Nebula, can thwart side schemes. Oof. All right. So first player comes over to Gamora. All right, we're going to use Conditioning Room to remove... Oh, I would have put these in a different order, sorry. Thinking of that. Remove the bottommost attack or thwart event, and that is forward momentum for a thwart. Now I'm going to look at the top card of my deck. It is an attack event, so I'm going to add that to my hand. I was going to think about recovering, but I can't now. So I just need to flip up. And... oof. All right. I think... well, I'm going to be exhausting myself. I'm just debating on which one. I think I'm going to have to get rid of the confuse. I think I need to focus on the main scheme here. All right, so I'm going to Sense of Justice for clear the area to remove 2 threat off it to take it down to 14. I'm going to use Keen Instincts to play forward momentum, remove 3 threat from a scheme. I could have removed 5, but I haven't played an attack event this turn. All right, and I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to use Piercing Strike and Quake to get Wiccan out. And then Wiccan is going to thwart 1 off the main. And then look at the top card of the deck, 2 damage. So I get to do 2 damage to Thanos. Oh, only 1 damage because of... oh, that's right. I was going to try to get rid of that this turn. Oh, well. Now, I do 1. Oh, I did... I guess I did pay a play a thwart event, so I get to deal damage. I will ping the tough off of that life-size decoy, because eventually a side scheme is going to come up and I'm going to have to deal with that. And I'm going to hold on to cross counter. That is Gamora's turn. So over to Nebula. First, I have to trigger my techniques. So Weapon Master triggers, deal 4 damage to an enemy. I'm going to do Thanos, but he only takes 3. 1, 2, 3. And then give Nebula a tough status. All right. We are going to use a lethal intent to pay a cutthroat ambition. So I get piercing and overkill on attacks. I'm going to spend 2 to get major victory out. And when he is defeated, I get to choose a friendly character to ready that character. Right, I'm going to use Nebula's ship to play lethal intent, so I get to trigger 1 special ability. I've only got 1 out, which is remove 3 threat. Taking that down to 7. All right, Drax is going to attack for 4, only deal 3. 1, 2, 3. Taking Thanos down to 9, and then he is defeated. Major victory is going to thwart 1 off of the main. And I think I'm just going to have Maria Hill stick around as a blocker just to be safe. Because I got that down to 6 out of 24, so I'm feeling okay. All right. So that's it. We're going to ready ourselves up. Gamora is going to hold on to cross counter, piercing strike, energy, Daughters of Thanos, and an acrobatic move. And then Nebula draws 5. We get Welcome Aboard, a sidearm, blade, energy, and make the call. Ooh, I can get... Drax back out with a sidearm. That'd be nice. All right, but that's of course I really gotta get rid of his armor too. So, all right. Villain phase. We're getting 2 on the main to go up to 8. He is attacking Gamora. Maria Hill will jump in front of it. Actually, no. Gamora is going to defend. So he is attacking for 4, 5. Just 5. I'm defending for 2, so I would take 2. I'm now going to use a Keen Instinct. Actually, I'm going to instead use Sense of Justice to pay for cross counter. So cross counter is an attack event, a defense event, and a thwart event, which is why Sense of Justice worked on it. So here interrupt. When you would take any amount of damage, but it's an attack event, so that does trigger stun. So rather than this triggering, it cancels that card to get rid of stun. Maybe that wasn't the best. I still take 3 damage. There we go. Come on. 5, 4. Oh, well. Might have been a misplay on my part, but we'll see. I was going to, I was thinking that just the damage part was going to get canceled and I could deal with it, but because it's an attack event, it cancels the whole thing. So I don't even get to reduce any damage. All right, he's coming to attack me, and even though I've got a tough card, Major Victory is going to jump in front of it. Oh, this happens first. So heal 3 damage and give him a face-down boost card. So Thanos goes back up to 52, and now he's attacking with 2 boost cards into Major Victory. So 4, 5, 6, 7, just 7. So Major Victory is defeated, and it says interrupt. When he is defeated, choose a friendly Guardian character to ready that character. I choose Gamora. So she is now ready. All right, and since there was no stone in play, we put one out. It's going to be the Reality Stone. And now we get encounter cards. Gamora's first is Under Fire, Surge. Reveal the top card of the encounter deck. Okay, so that decks us out. So we get an acceleration icon on that. See, I told you this was going to be a long game. Honestly, I don't feel bad about it. Gamora's at 4, so that's not great. I do have a couple blockers if we get some extra activations to be able to handle it. And if I can get rid of his armor, I'll feel a lot better about myself. Okay. All right, so let's see what we get. We get Master of the Stones. So this next activation is going to be really rough. And I have an inevitable give Thanos 1 face down boost card. So it's going to be really awkward the next one. This is from every direction. It gains Surge because we're in expert mode. Place 1 threat on the main scheme for each enemy in play. So Thanos and 2 life-size decoys. So that is 3. So we are back up to 11 out of 24. And it surges into a Hydra Bomber. Either take 2 damage, which I definitely don't want to do, or put a threat on the main. So we'll put a threat on the main, taking us up to 12. So we are halfway through. All right, and now first player comes back over to Nebula. All right, so what do I need? I need an energy and a physical after attacking him. I certainly can do that with Nebula. It's honestly going to be easier with Nebula than it is going to be for Gamora. Okay. So here is what we're going to... Oh, I got to do Cutthroat Ambition first. Remove 3 threat from a scheme. All right. That helps. All right. So Nebula is going to attack Thanos for 2, but he reduces it by 1, so he only takes 1. I am then going to spend Welcome Aboard and Blade as an energy and a physical to discard Thanos' armor. Thankfully, since I just reset the encounter deck, that's going to stay in there for a while. All right. Next, we are going to... won't have quite enough to do that with... So, do I do that instead? I think... Yeah, so we're going to thwart 2 with Maria Hill. Taking that down to 7. She goes away. I'm then going to use Make the Call and Energy to pull her back in. So we all get to draw 1 card. And I get a Laser Blaster and a Sidearm. So... doesn't really help me at all. I am going to then thwart 2 more off of this. Sidearm and Laser Blaster are pointless to me. All right. So that is it for Nebula. I mean, I can... Actually, that is... I'm going to use... Nebula's ship to put a sidearm on Maria Hill, because that will be the ally upgrade or support that I can discard. So there's that. Okay, that's it for Nebula. All right, for Gamora, first things first, Wiccan is going to thwart 1, discard the top card of the deck. It is 2 boost icons. We're just going to get rid of this Hydra Bomber. Let's get rid of you with that. And then a consequential. All right. We're going to spend 2 to get Ironheart out, which draws me a card, and that is a Genius. I guess we're going to overpay with Genius to get a... Well, so I've got Daughter of Thanos in my hand, so I'm looking to do it, but I've got an acrobatic move, which is a nice 2 damage. But do I really want to overpay for Daughter of Thanos when I might draw something that takes 2? So I'm going to say no. I'm going to spend acrobatic move to get Daughter of Thanos out. And that draws me 3 cards. I get to clear the area, a Nebula, and a Gamora's Sword. Okay. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to consolidate some cards here. So I got 2 Keen Instincts and a Sense of Justice. All right, I am going to spend Genius and Nebula to get out my sword. So when I play an attack event, deal 1 damage to an enemy. I'm then going to use Keen Instinct and Keen Instinct to play a Piercing Strike to deal 3 damage to an enemy. That is going to be Thanos. Down to 48. And then I did an attack event, so the sword comes into play, take another one, and then I get to ping 1 off, take 1 threat off. Gamora's going to attack for 2, down to 45, and then Ironheart's going to hit for 1. All right, and I'm going to hold on to clear the area because to have a thwart event might be nice, and Nebula is going to get rid of Laser Blaster. That's doing me no good. All right, so let's ready up. All right, so Nebula's drawn 5 cards. We get a Daughter of Thanos, Weapons Master, Cutthroat Ambition, Inspired, and a Welcome Aboard. I'm keeping clear the area, so I get to draw 4 more. Clobber, Decisive Blow, and Multitasking. All right. That is it for the player phase. So on to the villain phase. So we're getting 3 on the main with the acceleration icon. Thanos is coming to attack Nebula, and I am just going to take it. So he gets a 2nd stone in play. And we get 2 boost cards. So 4, 5, 6. Give Thanos a tough status card. So still at 6. And give Thanos a tough status card. All right, so that just hits my tough. All right, next, Reality Stone goes away. So discard an ally, upgrade, or support I control. That's going to be a sidearm. And now the Power Stone goes off. I am stunned. All right, and then Life Size Decoy attacks me for 0. And Master of the Stone goes away. All right, Thanos is coming to attack Gamora. Ironheart will jump in the way. So 4, 5, 6, and star. Place 1 threat on each scheme. In expert mode, place an additional threat. So that goes up to 8. And Ironheart is gone. And Life-Size Decoy attacks for 0. All right, now encounter cards. Nebula gets Explosion. If Bomb Scare is in play, assign X damage, but if it's not, it gains Surge. So it surges into Nebula. All right, well, again, we are Avengers Endgaming it, saying that she's a alternate timeline version of Nebula, so she can fight herself, just like in the movie. Gamora gets unfulfilled destiny. Yeah, we're gonna flip and exhaust this time to remove it from the game. All right, first player moves over to Gamora. All right, so let us do conditioning room. Let's get the bottommost attack or thwart event, turn the tide, attack event. Now we're going to look at the top card of my deck. It is both an attack and a thwart event, so that gets added to my hand. All right, now we're going to flip back up into hero mode. All right, we are going to use Sense of Justice to play Clear the Area, remove 2 threat from a scheme. It is a thwart event, so I get to ping a damage. I'm actually going to put the damage on this life-size decoy. Now that we've cycled the deck, it's only a matter of time before a side scheme comes up. So I'm going to want to get rid of him at some point. All right. I am then going to spend both my Keen Instincts to play Decisive Blow attack event. It is deal 4 damage to an enemy, or 7 damage if you played a thwart event. I played Clear the Area. So I am just Decisive Blow, setting a Decisive Blow to Nebula. And that is an attack event. So I get to deal 1 damage to an enemy from Gamora's sword, which takes the tough off of Thanos. And then I get to remove a threat. So taking the main down to 5. I am now going to spend Turn the Tide and Clobber to do another Decisive Blow, this time to Thanos. So that is 7 to Thanos, taking him down to 37. And then I get to deal damage to an enemy. Again, let's put it on this life-size decoy. And as much as I would love to do Wiccan, I think I'm going to hold him as a blocker. Yeah, I'm going to hold him as a blocker. Yeah, I'm just debating it. So I've got cross counter and multitask in my hand. If I hold on to cross counter, I definitely want to hold on to the cross counter just in case we get some overkill going here. So I won't play multitasking. All right, Nebula's turn. Let us spend 1 to play Daughters of Thanos to draw 3 cards. 1, 2, 3. So I get a combat ready, a command team, and an inspired. All right, nothing spectacular here. Especially since I am stunned. Can I afford to flip down? I think I can. Yeah, so let us... I'm going to attack to clear stunned, and then I'm going to flip down. I'm going to use a command team to put down a Cutthroat Ambition. So I get Piercing and Overkill on my attacks, and I get to draw 2 cards. So I get a Gamora ally and a Wide Stance, so not spectacular. I'm going to use Combat Ready. So it is a 0-cost event, alter ego action. I can either Shuffle up to 2 technique upgrades from your discard pile into your deck, or discard cards from the top of your deck until you discard a technique upgrade and put it into play, and then resolve its special ability. Do want to check real quick if I've got any. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I got 6, and I think there are 8. Yeah, so question is, do I want to chance decking out this turn? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Almost absolutely deck out this turn. Yeah, you know what? Let's do it. So we'll just discard until we get a technique. That's the first one. Evasive maneuvering. Choose to either stun or confuse an enemy. Great. Well, Thanos is stalwart, so there's no point in doing it there. So we'll stun that life-size decoy. What the heck? That wasn't spectacular, but... All right, we are going to spend Gamora to get a weapons master out. So I get retaliate 1. I am going to spend an inspired to put it inspired on Maria Hill so she can thwart and take 3 threat off of this. And then taking a look here if Yondu is in my discard pile. I have a Welcome Aboard in my hand. Yondu is not in there, so I got a good chance of picking him up next turn. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cards in hand. All right, so that is going to be my turn. I'm going to actually discard my wide stance to give me the best chance of getting Yondu. So let us ready ourselves up. All right, I'm going to discard multitasking, but keep cross counter. So I'm drawing 4 more. Forward momentum, multitasking, set the pace, and a turn the tide. All right, Nebula is keeping Welcome Aboard, and we're drawing a wide stance. White Tiger, Yondu finally, and a Laser Blaster. And a Get Ready. Oh, beautiful. All right. It is enemy phase time. Clean things up a little bit here. All right, so we're getting 3 on the main, so that is going to 5. Thanos is attacking Gamora. Wiccan will jump in the way, so 4, 5, 6. Wiccan bites it. Get the last one, so it's going to be adding threat. And he gets a second boost card for this scheme, so not ideal. But what can you do? Oh, yeah, and then Life-Side Decoy attacks and clears stun. Shuffle up the deck. All right, so he's scheming against Gamora for Nebula for 2, 3, 4, 5, and a star. Discard the top card of the Infinity Stone deck and add its boost icons 1 more. So it was 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oof. So that takes that up to 13. But oh wait, there's more. Time Stone comes into play, so it's discard the top 4 cards of your deck. Lucky for me, I've only got 2 cards in my deck. And they're 2 different kinds, so it goes up to 15. Unfortunately, means I deck out this turn instead of next. All right, so now encounter cards, 1 for Gamora, 2 for Nebula. So Gamora gets a gang up. Ooh, well, this is going to be rough. I've got no blockers out here, so. All right, so Gamora's defending for 2. He's attacking for 5, 6, 7. So 7, I block 2 of it, so that is 5. We are then going to exhaust Sense of Justice to play cross counter. So when you take any amount of damage, present 3 of that. So again, 5, 6, 7. So I'm taking 5, so I prevent 3 of that. So I only take 2, taking me down to 2. And then I get to deal 1 damage to an enemy, which I will do to Thanos. And then 1 threat off the scheme. And then I get to trigger the attack and thwart event thing, so I get to remove another threat and deal another damage. And because I played an attack event, I get to do another damage with my sword. All right. Gamora's in rough shape here. Mad Titan. Win reveal. And then the stone comes into play because he attacked. And then this says put the top card into play. All right, and second one is an advance. Ooh. Ouch. 4, 5, 6, 7. So that takes us to 20 out of 24 before he snaps. And then we've got to do the reality stones. First, discard an ally, upgrade, or support you control. I'm going to get rid of evasive maneuvering. That doesn't really do anything for me. And then the Space Stone, which is discard cards from the top of the encounter deck until a minion is discarded. All right, and put it into play. So let's see. How many do we have to discard to get there? Not sad to see another advance go. Or his helmet go. Or master plan go. Hydra Bomber. And again, it's putting him into play, not revealing him, so I don't need to choose to either take damage or put threat on me. All right, first player comes over to Nebula. All right, we're going to use Nebula's ship to put in wide stance, which draws me 2 cards. Cutthroat Ambition and another Get Ready. Okay, like that. All right, so we are going to flip up to hero mode. We are going to play Welcome Aboard. Play only if you have the Guardian trait, which I do. Reduce the resource cost of the next ally played this phase by 2. So I am going to spend a Cutthroat Ambition in one of my Get Readies to get Yondu into play. 4 cost, 2 with this, 2 thwart, 1 attack, 2 hit points. Yondu's attack gains ranged and does not take consequential damage. I will then spend White Tiger to put a laser blaster on him to get +1 attack, and it gains overkill, so I am ranged and overkill. Ranged. Looking for all my tokens so I don't forget. And then he is going to attack. Let's just get rid of this Hydra Bomber for 2, because then we're going to get ready to ready him, and then he can deal 2 to Thanos. 1, 2. And then Gamora is going to take 2 off of the main. All right, Gamora is up. All right, we are going to set the pace, remove 1 threat from a scheme. And I get to deal a damage. I'm going to just keep pinging damage onto this life-size decoy until eventually I can do it. All right, I'm then going to spend Turn the Tide to multitask to take 2 more off of this. Then I am going to use both my Keen Instincts to play Forward Momentum, Take 3 off of that. And then I'm going to chance it and flip down because I certainly can't stay up at 2 hit points. All right, I think that is it. Am I going to do... No, there's really no point in doing a conditioning room or Gamora's ability right now. The only reason I would do that is it potentially saves me from losing cards in a snap. So if that pops. So, you know what? Let's do it. Well, let's see what is the bottom. It is a thwart event, so sure. We'll conditioning room to do that, and then we'll do Gamora's ability. Is it an attack or thwart event? Nope. So it doesn't matter. All right. Ready, everyone, and everything up. All right. Nebula, drawing 5. We get a Get Ready, Wide Stance, Inspired, Weapons Master, and a Maria Hill. All right, I'm keeping Clear the Area. I'm drawing 5 more. Mockingbird, Endurance, Rocket Raccoon, Set the Pace, and another Clear the Area. All right, I can live with those. All right, villain phase. So we're getting 3 on the main to go up to 15 out of 24. He's coming to attack Nebula. Nebula is going to defend. So I do have Retaliate 1, and I reduce the amount of damage I take by 1. So 4, 5, 6, 7. So 7, I'm defending for 2. So that is 5, and I reduce it by 1, so that's 4. So takes me down to 4, and then Thanos gets retaliated 1. And life-size decoy attacks and does nothing. We get the top card of the Infinity Stone deck. Oh, Confusion. That's not great. Right, so now he's coming to scheme against Gamora for 2, 3, and a boost. Just 3. But unfortunately, Gamora, my main thwarter, is now confused. And now we get encounter cards. We've got 2 encounter cards left before we deck out. We have In a Bind, attached to Gamora, treat Gamora's printed text box as if it were blank, and then hero action, choose and discard an attack event from your hand, and deal 1 damage to Gamora to discard this card. Oof. Okay. And then we get False Alarm, I am confused. If you're already confused, it gains Surge. Surges into Under Fire. All right, well, we decked out again. And I need 1 more encounter card. Oh, I've got a player card in here. Somehow, I forgot. Put Wiccan in the wrong deck. All right. We're getting towards the end, but unfortunately, Thanos hits really hard in stage 3. All right, so we get a second one. We get Caught Off Guard. Discard an upgrade or support I control. What is the bottom? Attack or thwart event? It's a thwart event, which I really want. So, sorry, Sword, you're going away. And then we get Assault, which surges into Avatar of Death. Thanos schemes. Of course he does. All right, so 3, 4, 5, or 2, 3, 4, 5. So that gets it up to 23 out of 24. And then we get a card here, which runs out of the Infinity card deck, and so he gets a spicy. All right, shuffling up that. All right, so first player comes over to Gamora. She clearly has to heal for 3. Oops, not Thanos. 1, 2, 3. Getting her up to 5. I'm going to use Conditioning Room. Get the bottommost attack or thwart event, which is a thwart event. All right, I can't use my ability because of this thing. So we're going to flip up to hero form. I'm going to use Sense of Justice. Oh, no, actually, I'm going to play Set the Pace, which is a 0-cost thwart event, to clear my Confused. All right, I gotta get Threat off of there. But at the same time, I need to find some way to survive. All right. Yeah, he's going to be swinging on me hard at this one. So, okay. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to spend endurance, as much as I don't want to, actually endurance, a clear the area, and Mockingbird to get Rocket Raccoon into play. All right, I'm going to use Sense of Justice to play Clear the Area to clear 2 threat off of this. I am then going to use both my Keen Instincts to play Forward Momentum. I didn't do an attack event, so I only get to remove 3, so that takes it to 18. Rocket Raccoon is then going to attack the life-size decoy. I get +3 attack because it's a minion, so I'm attacking for 4 with Overkill. So I take out that, and I do 2 damage to Thanos. Down to 29. Right, and I don't get any of the ping damage for doing thwart events because that is blank. All right, that is Gamora's turn. Oops, and Rocket takes a consequential. All right, Nebula's turn. Let's do our techniques. So, Cutthroat Ambition says remove 3 threat from a scheme. All right, down to 15. Weapons Master says deal 4 damage to an enemy. 1, 2, come on, 2, 3, 4, down to 25. White Stance says look at the top 3 cards of the deck, discard 1 and put the other back in any order. So here's the top 3 cards. Got a Mad Titan Shadow, 0 boost, and if it defeats an ally, put an Infinity Stone into play. Master of the Stones is a 1-cost 1 boost icon, and from every direction is a 0 boost icon. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to get rid of Mad Titan Shadow. And he's going to attack Gamora first, so I'll give him Master of the Stones since it probably won't have Overkill. I don't know what that one is. Yeah, we're going to chance it. So we'll put him back on top that way. All right. Okay, so we are going to spend 2 to get Maria Hill out, which draws a card here and draws a card here. Not that it particularly matters too much. Then Maria Hill is going to thwart 2 off the main. Alright, I am going to use Nebula's ship to put a sidearm on Yondu, so he is now attacking for 3. So, attack 1, 2, 3. I am then going to use Get Ready to ready him, and then attack again for 3. 1, 2, 3. Down to 19. All right. Nebula's at 4, Gamora's at 5. If I flip over, he is most definitely going to pop that from scheming. Or he'll more than likely pop it from scheming. Do I care? You know what? I don't actually care that much at this point. So we're going to pop down. We're gonna ready ourselves up. So I've got 2 potential blockers for Rocket, or for Gamora and Rocket and Maria. All right, so Gamora, I'm going to hold on to the card I drew, which was Strength, and draw 4 more. Turn the Tide, Groot, Acrobatic Move, and Clobber. Did not deck out. That's handy. And then Nebula's going to hold on to Inspired, and also get Make the Call, Honorary Guardian, Genius, Welcome Aboard, and a Drax. All right, so we're getting 4 on the main, so we're up to 17. He is coming to attack Gamora, and Rocket's going to jump in the way of it. So we get 2 boost cards, so it is 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and nothing. That I put those in a different order. So no overkill, so Rocket just gets hammered, goes away. Then Gamora is stunned. So now he's coming to scheme on Nebula for 2, 3, 0. So just 3. So that takes us to 20 out of 24. And because nothing happened there, we get the Space Stone. Right, and now we get encounter cards. Gamora gets Master of the Time Stones. And then Nebula gets I Am Confused. Right, and first player comes over to Nebula. All right, so 19 damage. I'm trying to see what all I've got here. So I don't have any techniques in my hand, so I can't draw some cards. So I've got Yondu who attacks for 3. I don't have any readies in my hand either. I've got Drax, which can attack for 3. I've got an Inspire that will do for 1 more, so I can do... All right. Okay, yeah, I got a plan. So, Maria Hill is going to thwart for 2. And then go away. I am then going to make the call with Genius to pull her back out. And then we both draw a card. I get another Inspired, and Gamora gets a Piercing Strike. All right. Maria Hill will thwart for another 2. I am going to... Yeah. Okay, so hang on a second. So 3, yeah, so I could do 4, 7, I could do 2, which is 7, 9. Does Gamora have 10 damage in her with a stun at that? So 2, 5, 7. Most I can do is 7, so I'm not going to be able to get him this turn. So I think the best thing I can do is probably heal up. So Nebula will heal 3 to go back to 7. And then we're going to flip ourselves up. I'm going to use Welcome Aboard and my ship to bring in Drax. I'm going to use an Honorary Guardian to play Inspired on Yondu. So now he is fully kitted up. He is thwarting for 3 and attacking for 4 with no consequential. So I will have him attack for 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then Drax will hit for 3. 1, 2, 3. And that is all I can do. All right, so Gamora's turn. Sure, we're going to discard an attack event from my hand, which is Turn the Tide, and deal 1 damage to Gamora, taking her down to 4, to get rid of In a Bind. So that is cleared. I am going to use play Acrobatic Move, which is a 0-cost attack event, to clear my stunned. I am then going to spend Keen Instinct, both my Keen Instincts, for a Clobber, I guess, to deal 3 damage to him. 1, 2, 3. And then I'm going to spend Piercing Strike and a Strength to get Groot on the table. 6 hit points. He's hitting for a bait. He's going to scheme for that. So he'll be hitting for a base of 5 plus a boost. Yeah, there's no way Groot's going to survive that. So we'll just have him attack for 2. And then Gamora is going to attack for 2. I think. Yeah, because he's going to be scheming for 4 plus a boost. Okay, I did play an attack event, so I did get to take 1 threat off the main. Let me just see here before I put the 2 attack down. All right, so we're at 15, so he's got 9. So he's going to be scheming for 4 plus a boost. So effectively, because we're going to go up 4, that's 8 plus a boost. We're going to try it. We're going to instead thwart for 2 to get that down to 3. There's a small chance that I could not pop it, but we'll see. All right, so that is everything. We ready ourselves up. I'm going to keep Inspired and then draw 5 more. A Laser Blaster, Daughters of Thanos, Major Victory Energy, and a Lethal Intent. Gamora, decks out. So we got a Clobber. I mean, I've got enough damage on the board to win next turn. Between Yondu and Drax, I can take him out. I just have to survive. All right, so I got Clobber, clear the area, Clobber, and multitasking. All right, that is that. So we're getting 4 threat on the main to go up to 17. He is coming to scheme against me. He gets another encounter card. It is the Mind Stone. So he is scheming for 2, 3, 4, 5. So 17 plus 5 is going to be 22 out of 24. Right, now we got to do the stones. So space stones is discard until you get a minion and then put it into play. So it is Nebula again. And then this, I'm confused. I'm already confused. If you are already confused, discard 1 card at random from your hand. All right. 1 more encounter card, and then the game may be over. I discard, Daughters of Thanos. See, Thanos has disowned us, so we're no longer his daughters. All right, Gamora gets... Oh, wait a second. I didn't have him... Okay, so this went away. I didn't have him actually attack Gamora, so... Oh, well. Okay, so... Oh, this is from decking out. Yeah, okay. That was from the stones. That's right. Sorry. Okay. So Groot is going to jump in the way. So 4, 5, just 5. Hey, Groot actually would have survived it. Oh well, sorry, Groot. And now we get the Soul Stone. Now we get encounter cards. It's late. I'm getting confused. All right, first one up is From Every Direction. Gain Surge, place 1 threat on the main scheme for each enemy in play. Here I was thinking we were going to get away from the snap. All right, that is 3 threat. That is enough to pop it. All right. So balance the scales. When revealed, each player shuffles their discard pile into their deck and then removes the top half of their deck, rounded down, from the game. Alrighty, let's do some shuffling, and then I'm going to have to do some counting, and then we'll see. First, Nebula. Darn you, From Every Direction. So, Guerrilla Tactics... It is a very good encounter set, and it can be really annoying at times. I mean, like the life-size decoy hasn't really come into play. Actually, it probably has, and I probably have screwed that up a few times. But you know, if you're not dealing with a lot of size schemes, you can leave it out and it's not a big deal. But some of these just at the worst time. But let's see here. So how many cards do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 18, 19, 20. So I've got 39 cards in my deck, which means I have to discard 19, the top 9, or remove from the game the top 19. So and as is my wont, I never even look at what gets discarded. The only card in my discard pile over here was Groot. All right, then this comes in with no threat, but we still have the 2 acceleration icons on it. Right. So I have 32 in this. So I have to discard the top 16 cards. That didn't seem right for the other one, but that is way too many. So what do I have? All right, I got to look at Nebula here in a second. So 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and 16 are removed from the game. I think I screwed up Nebula's real quick here. Let me check. 20. 29. Yeah, I took 19 out instead of half of 29 rounded down is actually 14. So did I mention that it's getting late and I'm not thinking straight? All right. So that is it for Nebula. Now we get Gamora. We get a side scheme. Each enemy gets +1 scheme, +1 attack, has 5 threat on it. Don't care. And then another side scheme, which comes in with 4 threat on it, and each enemy gains the hazard icon. So, first player comes over to Gamora. Honestly, we're going to do this. Gamora's going to pass her turn. Yondu is going to hit for 4. Drax is going to become inspired because somewhere along the line he found a laser blaster. So he's attacking for 5. And he finally fulfills his Guardians of the Galaxy mission, and he defeats Thanos. All right. That was long. I hope I didn't make a whole ton of play mistakes. I'm sure I did. I'm sure I probably took threat off of some side schemes when I had life-size decoy out, which I shouldn't have been able to. But with these two decks, so Gamora and Nebula are really interesting. I know Nebula is not super popular with the community, and a lot of people are not huge fans of her. She usually ends up pretty low on list. But the thing is, there are just so many triggers in this that it sometimes is just hard to wrap your head on. So hopefully you bear with me if I made any mistakes, and point them out in the comments. Go right ahead where I screwed up, but hopefully I didn't do anything too egregious. But as far as the Daughter of Thanos card goes, it's good. If you've got 2 players with Gamora and Nebula out, it's really good because you can always trigger it. I know it is 2 effective resources for 3, but you usually have 1 card in your hand that you're probably not going to use or isn't useful for you at that moment, and you can turn those 2 cards into 3 others to mill your deck and kind of filter it. It's really good, and if you've got you've got 2 players in it, then you're always guaranteed to be able to trigger it. All you need to do is be in hero form. So as long as you're playing 2 heroes, Gamora and Nebula, I think it's really good and probably should be included in the decks. If you're playing with only 1, you need to get your signature ally out, and then I think it becomes not particularly useful. I don't think it's an include at that point because you need to have your ally out when this hits your hand, and that's a low percentage play. So again, solo or, only one of these 2 characters is playing the game, it's not worth it. If both of these heroes are in play, absolutely include it. So I hope you enjoyed this. I'm going to wrap this thing up because it's been going for a long time now. If you made it this far, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope I didn't screw up too badly. Let me know in the comments. I'll figure out what I'm playing next, and let me know what you think of the kind of new outline and everything that I put out here. See if it makes it easier to keep track of or harder. Still trying to get the hang of the raising and the lowering of things, so hopefully I didn't screw up anything there as well. But again, as always, thank you for watching. You want to see more of it, hit the subscribe button. If you liked it, hit the like button. I'll keep putting out more of these. I'm going to continue on in my team up progression, and we'll see what the next one is, and we'll do some random villains against that. So again, thanks everybody. Have a great evening.